Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
The Vikings on third down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. As they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And Elliott puts this one through. And that will knock things up here late in the first half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. He was trying to get it to Taywan Taylor. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. A 2nd down throw here for Mariota. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. And give him a gain of 37. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And Rudolph has it left side. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Detroit!
They go play action here on first down. Sliding, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on first down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on third down. Makes it manageable now.
The Vikings on third down. They've been very good. 5 for 7 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Gun!
Back to throw. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Green 39.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the return out shy of midfield to the 46-yard line. He's had his interception woes early in his rookie season, but sometimes that happens. There are great examples of guys in the past that have had those same struggles early.
You are so correct. And what the team and organization is hoping, we're going to see these woes now, but later when we're helping him with his Hall of Fame speech, we'll remember his rookie year and how things began.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Keep it rolling. One.
On play action, Mariota. It's caught on the right side at Smith. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Nice idea, nice concept there. Line him up on the left side of the formation. Let him sneak his way across. Coming back underneath. Put it in his hands. Let him get a few more yards after the catch, too.
Great way to utilize a tight end on the drag route. They'll run with Muhammad. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we might have to go for the hot dogs.
He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Mariota now. And he locates Walker, complete.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surf.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now they go screen. It's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a 6-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Elsewhere, second half is underway up in Orchard Park. The Bills, they are just continuing to pour it on. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives have bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And now out comes Minnesota. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now a run with Cook. And fights through one man. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gone, 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 gone. Detroit, Detroit.
They'll set up to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Gone, 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 gone. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit! Set! 319! 319!
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Steps away to his left. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
And the blitz does come. Now he'll be hit from behind, and he is landed on hard.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
This is taken at about the 14. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the carry, it's Muhammad. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Eric Kendricks in on the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Off the play fake, Mariota. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play, set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Throwing the out route and complete. That's Walker. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. And a huge play that time. And even 40 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Suckup for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Suckup. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Second down, Mariota. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
The offense on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And now out comes Minnesota. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Gun!
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
They'll drop the throw, and unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Muhammad. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go again with Muhammad. Oh, nice spin.
Oh, that brought back bad memories.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. Throwing is Mariota. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. A give. This is Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go now. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll look to throw here. A dump off for Abdullah. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He can run for it, and he will. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go now. 3-19.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. He'll drop to throw.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7. And a stoppage here, a timeout before this 3rd down play takes place. As it comes with 1:25 left to go in the contest. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Caught left side, Hopkins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2.
Gone!
He'll look to throw. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Snags it for the pick.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there. But that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And the hands team does its job. They're able to secure it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Here's Muhammad. Flashed the stick skills on that run, but then stopped shy of the 35. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for our visitors, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the struggles intensify as they drop to 2-6 now on the year. And they'll be at home for one next week as the Atlanta Falcons come to town. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.